The XRP Ledger developers that understand this technology a lot better than me are calling the next upgrade for the XRP Ledger super bullish. So I'm going to be putting that in the title of today's update. Take it from them, not me. I didn't come up with it. I didn't say it. They did. But I am going to explain and break down why I do also think that it is super bullish what's coming for XRP. I'm not talking about the Clarity Act. We're not talking about RLUSD. We're talking about XRP and the XRP ledger and the amendments and upgrade that is coming. It's going to be a massive unlock. Let's get you right on into today's update. American Bankers Association CEO says there's a lot of good in the Clarity Act. I do think that the crypto and the banking sectors can coexist. I think that we can be the crypto capital of the world, and we're working with senators on the bill. Now that is fantastic. However, we do have some groups. Cortez Masto, Senator Cortez Masto, brings forward a new proposal here today, which might be setting things back a little bit. Eleanor Terrett with the scoop. The latest BRCA front appears to be with prosecutors, not police. Perhaps notably, the National Sheriff's Association, which has publicly opposed the Clarity Act in recent weeks, did not sign onto the proposed changes that would remove language shielding software developers from criminal prosecution. Meanwhile, the White House and Treasury are pushing back on Senator Cortez Masto's claim that the proposal reflects their input. That's a lie. Crypto Council Executive Director Patrick Witt says it's, quote, not even close to the administration's position, while Treasury says the language is the product of Washington lobbyists. So here we go again. We had an issue on ethics. We're still waiting to see a revision. People want to complain. In this case, it's the Democrats. I like to go after D's and R's. I don't discriminate in that regard. I love to go after both. Both have sold out the American people, so we'll continue to call them out. But in this case, the Democrats are upset on ethics. Okay, where's your solution? You've had days now. It shouldn't take that long. Plug it into your AI, and maybe it can help you spit out an answer. Or does this all just go back to politics? Does it all go back to that Washington lobby that is in the pocket of all of these politicians? Right? And so we'll see. You got an issue with ethics, put forward the bill. Put forward the amendment. We'd love to see it. Enough talking. Let's see what you have. In this case, we already came to a great deal, and we need to protect the software developers. This whole BRCA, that Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, I believe is the name of it, it's about protecting developers and basically saying that if you're putting out code, software developer, you're not a money transmitter. You don't need to, be treated like a bank that needs to do KYC with everybody that uses your code. Let's not get silly out here. But now we have Senator Cortez Masto coming forward with this new deal, which is putting another hurdle in the way for us to get over on this Clarity Act. Now, Senator Tom Tillis wants a Clarity Act procedural vote next week. He's hoping to convince Dems to show good faith after all this bipartisan negotiation by getting on the bill. If we don't get this ethics baseline done, I'm not going to vote on the back end, he said. So, you guys let me know. I'm sick of it too. I'm just as sick as you guys are. All this drama, the bear market. I'm frustrated. I'm over it too. But I just want to keep you guys up to date on where we stand. In the next hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm recording this update at about 10 o'clock on the West Coast, 1 p.m. Eastern. In the next 2 hours, we'll have the interest rate decision from the Fed, and we'll also have the Kevin Warsh press conference. If we get any nuggets from that, we'll be watching. But in the meantime, that's the update. Let's get you into crypto XRP and getting bullish. XRP trading is now live for retail investors on OSL HK. This is the first exchange in Hong Kong to offer retail XRP trading. You absolutely love to see it. This is fantastic. Not only do they have trading pairs here with USD, but they're also going to pair it up OTC, XRP USD, and XRP versus the Hong Kong dollar. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Another fun. The suits are selling it with slideshow presentations, and they got another fun for you. Bitwise Crypto Carry Fund, a limited private investment, uses a market-neutral strategy based on the crypto cash and carry trade. It seeks to generate yield from the gap between the spot and futures prices for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. These are simple market neutral strategies where basically you own the underlying asset, you buy XRP spot, and then you short an equal amount. You capture the premium on the cost to borrow, basically the cost to fund to go long XRP. And so as that premium rises, you capture that. And then obviously if the price moves back down, you can negate the losses on your spot holdings by capturing the downside in your XRP short. That's the basis. So, in short, the strategy works reliably when the basis stays sufficiently positive, meaning people want to go long, people want to bet long, right? You can hold through temporary adverse mark-to-market moves without being forced out. The costs will stay low and operational risks do not materialize. Here's where these trades go wrong, and the market neutral strategy can be chugging along until it's not. And this happened for a lot of hedge funds, by the way, in 2025 and into 2026 as people got out of crypto, as people got liquidated and stopped going long. That premium is gone. In stressed or low demand for leverage regimes, those conditions frequently fail. This is why funds running the trade emphasize risk management, low leverage, and careful venue selection rather than treating it as guaranteed yield. So we'll see. Hey, love to see it though, right? Because it's more XRP getting locked up in a fund, more XRP getting locked up in ETFs, more XRP getting locked up in digital asset treasuries. As we're about to talk about with the amendments coming to the XRP ledger, this upgrade is going to put a lot of XRP to work in yield and lending in different deals. And all of this leads to XRP supply shock and price increase. Speaking of ETFs, Evernorth with the update. Since the US spot XRP ETFs launched in November of last year, they've taken in about 1.5 billion net as of July 28th, 2026. Money leaves some weeks, that's normal, but even one of 2026's biggest outflow weeks was only about 7 million. Against $1.5 billion of net creations, the exits have stayed small. And that's just what we're watching, right? Is that the inflows continue. What do they know? What do these ETF buyers know? These are clients of these ETF issuers who want to get exposure to XRP. Maybe they kind of see what we see, which is a very bullish upgrade and strong fundamentals for XRP and the XRP ledger. This is Chris Dangerfield. Now, this guy's not a clickbait YouTuber. He's the furthest thing from it. Chris is a nice dev working on the XRP ledger and in the ecosystem. His words, not mine. This is super bullish. Just reviewed the roster of upcoming updates in XRPLD 3.3. And wow, you got batch, you got sponsored fees, you got confidential transfer for multi-purpose tokens, mutable multi-purpose token props, permission delegation, and a bunch of AI-assisted fixes. Wow, all of these are game changers. This is super bullish. The core devs have been busy, huh? They have. And with AI, our devs are really getting cooking. And now when we see our developers get to show up to the job site now, and before the XRP ledger handed you a hammer. That was it. You had a hammer. You go smash nails all day. Very efficiently, you could send payments at no cost or relatively no cost, and each ledger is going to close in 3 to 5 seconds every single time, all day, every day, for 14 plus years we've been doing it. We had a really nice hammer. It was a lean, mean, and efficient machine. Now we're bolting on programmability. We're doing it without smart contracts that always get hacked and exploited. And we're doing it and bringing all of these features and building out our DeFi right as we get rules of the road in the Clarity Act. It's a perfect storm. Now, I put out this full list the other day, 8 amendments to watch. You got batch, confidential transfers, sponsored fees and reserves, permission delegation, dynamic multi-purpose tokens. The bundled fix is now live. Single asset vault and lending protocol, which are 2 of the ones that Chris didn't mention, but 2 that I think are going to be the biggest. Single asset vault allows you to put in XRP, RLUSD, or any other token into a vault where it can be put in a pool for liquidity and earn you some yield, or also into the lending protocol. Right? So if you want to borrow against your XRP, you put it into the single asset vault, and then somebody's going to build the app, the platform that will allow you to lend against your XRP. And so all of this that's happening in the background, does it lead to XRP green candles today? No. Does it lead to our developers making statements that they don't normally make? These are conservative guys. Chris Dangerfield, not a clickbait YouTuber, not a hopium dealer. His business model doesn't rely on lying about XRP going to the moon. He's just trying to build on the XRP ledger. And I'm telling you right now, most people in XRP aren't even paying attention to this. 99% of crypto has no clue that this is happening. And I can't wait for them to play catch up. They're going to play catch up by coming back into XRP. They're going to be flooding back into XRP. I can't wait, because I'm going to be picking up, and I have already started picking up XRP during this midterm cycle, and I'm going to show you why. This is Chart Nerd, and it is really simple. All you have to do is accumulate XRP from June to year end during every US midterm year to gain major entries for serious gains. Let's see what he's talking about.
So 2014 midterm year was the bear market for XRP. It hovered in a massive accumulation range for about 3 to 4 years and then exploded. But nonetheless, the 2014 top, which was the midterm year, opened the drop to the middle regression band of the Gaussian channel. Fast forward to 2018, another midterm year. XRP dropped to 96% and confirmed a drop beneath both of the regression bands. 2022, right? We had a peak in 2021. We went into 2022 with a lower high and then dropped to expose the rest of the bear market. So another midterm year. Now 2025, just like 2021, okay? 2021 wasn't a midterm year, but it was a peak. 2025 wasn't a midterm year, but it was a peak. 2022, what followed the previous cycle, was the bear market in the midterm year. 25 into 2026, once again, we're in a midterm year and another bear market for XRP. So historically speaking, midterm years for XRP are historically bearish. Okay? It's just data. It's not beating around the bush. It's not saying XRP is going to go to zero. It's just being honest. The chart doesn't lie. You can try in any way, shape, or form to whatever you want to do with the analysis, but it's there in front of you. Historically speaking, whenever XRP is tapped out, most of the time during midterm years or the year following from a peak is when we enter our bear markets.
Yeah, it's just very simple. I mean, here you are. Now, my question for you guys as we exit out of this video here today, my question for you, based off of this, XRP will top out in 2029 again, and then it will go back into a bear market in 2030. Do you think that we get that cycle playing out again, or is this time going to be different? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Give me your 2029 bull market top prediction, and then do you think that we go back into a bear market in 2030? The next midterm year that we'll have will be 2030. So, if history plays out, that's what would happen. XRP would shoot up to $8, $20, $30, $1,000 by 2029. And then we go into a bear market in the 2030 midterm. But a lot of folks suggest that this time's different. I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. This is your update. We'll be watching Kevin Warsh and the Fed here shortly. Make sure you guys stay up to date by subscribing, hitting that notification bell if you appreciate our content. Like it, hype it. Please help us out by sharing it out far and wide. And if you want to watch another video of mine, it's right here. Subscribe's right there. God bless and have a great day.